right on to Brian, who was first in the room.
Good morning, everybody. So good to be here having breakfast with you. So I'm going to jump on a little bit of what you said earlier, Michelle, when you were talking about fear. And this is, again, just one of my observations. Gary Keller, who started Keller Williams, gave me the perfect, like, summary of what I do in life. And he said, what I do is I don't, you know, figure things out. I just observe and I just tell you what I'm observing. And that's really what I've been doing my whole life. I observe, I bring things back that I hear, I implement them, and I figure out what works, what doesn't work. And so, one of my observations that I have seen, just working with people that were just getting into real estate, for example, a new real estate agent, they don't have the confidence level that they might have had in something else. So when you're doing something that you're comfortable with, when you're doing something that you've done for a while, you do build up confidence because you've learned it and you're learning more and getting better at it. And then pretty much you become the go-to person on that. Well, whenever you're doing something new, you're in this area where you don't know the answers. And a lot of times we're used to being the person that they come to for question or to get answers, right? How do you do this? How do you do that? What would you do if this came up? So when we're in these new areas and we're used to knowing everything and now we don't, it's the courage to not only step into that and do it, but the courage to just take that action like you would as if you had been there. So I've just seen, it almost seems like for me, what's speaking to me today is that confidence and courage go hand in hand. And, it's kind of like I jumped out of an airplane. The courage to jump out of an airplane takes a lot at 10,000 feet over Aruba. And when you look at this little small island and we're going to land on that little thing from 10,000 feet, I mean, I was scared to death until the guy told me, you're really not falling. You're going to feel like you're floating. I'm like, oh, okay. But if somebody said, hey, we're going to go jump out of an airplane at 10,000 feet, I have the courage much more now to maybe do it the second time better than I did the first time. Man, you take me up 3 or 4 or 5 times, shoot, I'll probably be doing flips and doing those dives like they do in the movies and doing all that stuff. So my courage level is going to go up, or my confidence level is going to go up. So I would just say that courage is like cultivating and developing a new skill or developing a new habit or doing something more and more to build that courage up. And it's just being brave enough to take that next step. For example, another example would be public speaking. Standing up in front of somebody in public speaking. And I'm sure, Tony, you can probably add to this. Ulysses, working with Tony Robbins, I remember him saying once that, or reading somewhere once, that, for him to be the most amazing speaker that he is, because no matter where he goes, no matter what he does, I mean, whether you like him, whether you don't like him, he does make an impression on you with something that he says. And I just remember hearing that he used to speak for free back in the early days. He would speak 2, 3 times a day, every day for weeks on end until he just got the courage to not go from, standing in front of a group of 5 people to standing in a group of 50 people to standing in front of a group of 50,000 people. I don't even know what his largest crowd is. I figure you might be able to talk to that a little more, Tony. So it's just really doing that and building up your confidence is going to help you get the courage to do more of what you want to do. So find those that have been there before you and do take that next step to just move forward and do it. Like, go speak in front of a group for free if public speaking is your thing. And then I spoke for free for probably 5 years at everything I could. And then I got paid, my breakfast was paid for to come speak at an event. And I thought that was the biggest deal ever. And then I got $100 and then I got my airfare covered, and it just kept going up from there. So that's what I would throw on the table today. And anything you want to add about Mr. Robbins, that would be great too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Sometimes you've got to do it for free. You got to pay the price, right? That overnight success, right? And so many people talk about you. Sometimes you got to do it for free and do that stuff.